Okay, so I'm going to speak English because it's easier for me. I'm going to start with e4. Couple possibilities. We're going to see e6, d4, or d5, I'm sorry, c5. Alright, so we have e5. Just going to develop knight f3, see if we go into Ruy Lopez or even a Spanish, bring the bishop out. If knight, yep. So this goes into my favorite opening here, the Ruy Lopez. Okay. Alright, so you're hitting the pawn, but there's something sneaky I can do. I can do this, and then I believe we go into something called the Berlin defense. If knight takes, I just go rook e1. I'm just gonna play knight d4. Este abrimiento es mi main. Es el abrimiento que yo sé más que todos. Posición. Yo soy muy bueno con esta posición. Alright, so I mean probably he's thinking about this capture right here. But he can't do that so easily, especially after castles and my rook gets on the e-file. There could be tricky stuff, losing the knight to a fork, even just pushing this f pawn someday. g4, not the most common move, usually just castle, and then you could go into the Berlin defense with something like this, and only then pushing d4, but he decides to take the pawn. Now I just castle. Alright, so what are we going to see? Either, I think queen e7 is a good move. a6, probably one of the better moves. Or even pawn to d6, freeing up a square for this guy. Either one, not a bad idea. Black cannot take the pawn because knight takes pawn is met with rook e1, and then if queen takes, then there's always this. So if knight takes rook e1, there's either queen to e7 or pawn to f5. Either one is not bad for me. I think in either case I want to play. Considering knight d2, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I always have this option of playing c3 followed by knight takes c3. What are we gonna have? Okay. Bishop c5. I think, yeah, I like this idea. Let's do it. Does give him the opportunity for this piece to come online, but with this, why won't it let me? Yeah, but I think after knight takes f3, I'm ahead in development and my pieces have a lot of activity, so I'm not too concerned. I'm still expecting knight takes or a6. I think this is probably a mistake. Yeah, okay. So, do I recapture right away? Is there anything else I can do? No, I think this is better. I can get this little in-between move in. Now where's the knight gonna go? You can't recapture with the knight because of, obviously, my knight. Knight could go here. I don't know if I'm too upset about that. This f2 point's well protected by my rook here. I think this is a little... Is that crazy? Maybe knight here is a little more practical, but I think my opponent's playing aggressively. He wants to go here, followed by that. The ideas of piling up on f2. We'll see. Like this pawn. What to do about this pawn, though? It's expecting to see a d6 advance at some point. Oh, my opponent's taking a lot of time. He's down to 9 minutes. 9 minutos. Okay. So we don't see any of those. We see knight here. I think now I just take the pawn. I mean, you still can't take this because I have rook e1 unless he castles first. Knight takes, rook e1, castles, knight takes, rook takes them up the exchange, up a piece. Tengo que enviar, ya vengo. Okay, we do see that. So I think that's a blunder. Is it? I think just... Oh, maybe I take the knight first. Yeah, I'm gonna take the knight. This knight takes knight, rook e1. I mean, there is d6. I'm expecting d6. What about this? Instead of, I was thinking rook e1 initially, but I might wanna... Yeah, let's get my queen out here. Okay, we could see queen here, or castles. That's what I'm expecting. Or d6. Oh, bishop. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. There is no this. He has no pawn here. I mean, there is this. I think I just take the queen at that point. Pawn takes. Let's think. Pawn here. Okay. Bishop backs up. Let's do this. I want to keep this rook here. So now if bishop takes, there's rook takes, and I'm pinning the bishop has to go back home. These pieces are very underdeveloped. He hasn't castled yet. My pieces are very active, on the other hand. I think rook goes here. I think that's an only move. I don't think you want to allow me to capture this and trade for a bishop who's not really doing too much right now. I think this is your best move here. Yep, this is the Ruy Lopez, or the Spanish, the Berlin Nyholm attack. Is by that d4 move. That's what makes it the Nyholm attack, the d4. Berlin was just knight f6. Cinco minutos más. Okay, that's what I thought. I want to get this knight involved. Let's do that. I mean, if here, this fork, but I could just take, and then after queen takes, I think I'm doing okay. I mean, knight here, there's always pawn takes bishop, but pawn takes bishop's met with knight takes, rook takes knight. This is probably a knee-jerk reaction. We might see that in the game. I think that's a pretty big blunder because now this guy's hit twice. 3 pieces on e7. I think that's bad. You don't want to invite that with this bishop, pawn takes bishop move. See, desperation play. I win the queen. Maybe. I mean, yeah, you have to make some. I think this. I'm not sure what you do. Maybe this. Forcing me to recapture with the knight. Yeah. Now I just close things up simply because this is forced and it's mate. GG. GG, bro. Let's back up, see what happened here. Let's go back, flip the board. Okay, so this is the Nyholm attack. And capturing here isn't as good. I think maybe better is consider pawn to d6. Hold the tension, and if this pushes, the knight can certainly find. I think the knight actually wants to go here and reroute over to the king side. That was played. Tried to strengthen that. I think that maybe just taking right away is better, followed by, because now you have d5, now that this guy isn't there. This, I don't think you want this. I think this is a mistake, because you're allowing knight takes pawn. Anyway, good game.